My ex-husband and I divorced nearly 2 years ago after 10 years of marriage. During a stressful time, we slept together, resulting in a pregnancy. My ex-husband and I were married for 10 years, although the last two were spent in various stages of separation. We've been divorced for roughly a year. We have 3 kids, ages 10, 8, and 5, and now I'm pregnant with our fourth baby. I don't know if we'll actually end up parenting 4 kids or not. I'm so conflicted, and we're both conflicted. There was no abuse or cheating in our marriage, although he did sleep with someone else during our separation. There were a variety of other reasons why we ultimately got divorced. After the initial feelings of failure and heartache, there was an immense amount of heartache on my end. Despite being the one who filed for divorce, we were able to get along pretty well. Our relationship became platonic so quickly, and it's like when we removed the romantic and married aspects, things got so much better. We split time with our kids 50-50, which is really hard for me because being a mom is such a huge part of my identity. I still struggle to know what to do with myself during his time with the kids. Ultimately, I'm happy he's a loving and involved father, and I'm glad that they spend half their time with him. Even if I still sometimes cry over not being with them all the time. We still do things together as a family sometimes, like attending our kids' activities. My ex-husband has a girlfriend now, and while she seems nice, it hurt when he met her soon after our divorce. I cried a lot over it. He waited over 6 months to introduce her to our kids, which I appreciated, and they seemed to like her. Recently, our youngest child was unexpectedly hospitalized and needed surgery. Though it was a minor procedure, it was still a big deal to me. My ex-husband stayed with us the entire time, being a great dad and a supportive partner as I worried over every little thing. We spent those nights in the hospital together, and it reminded me why I married him. He's always been my rock, the person I could rely on to take care of everything. During that time, he told me I'm still the most important woman in his life. After our son was discharged, my ex came back to my house. With our baby safe and our other 2 kids excited to be home, it felt like we were a family again. That night, after the kids were in bed, we had lovemaking. It wasn't planned or hoped for, it just happened. It was intense, passionate, and something we shouldn't have done. We ended up sleeping together again in the middle of the night. The next morning, we agreed that our emotions from the situation with our son got the better of us. We decided not to regret it, but to move on and return to our normal divorced lives without making it awkward. Then I found out I was pregnant. We didn't use a condom. I don't even have any in my house anymore. I'm not on birth control, as I haven't needed it since our divorce. I wanted to be single for a while, and I know I was ovulating when we slept together, which likely contributed to it happening. My body sees him being a good dad, and it wants another child. My cycle is regular, and we've always conceived quickly, even before our wedding. Now, I'm about 8 weeks pregnant. I've known for a week and just told him this past weekend. I wasn't sure if I'd tell him, but I did, hoping he'd take charge and figure things out. Only he didn't. I know it makes no sense to have a baby with someone I chose to divorce. I don't need a 4th child. Why can't I let go of this, though? Update 1. My ex-husband and I are having a baby. I posted about a week ago that my ex-husband and I have been divorced for about a year. We have 3 kids ranging from 10 to 5 years old. We've gotten along great since the divorce, better than when we were married. It's almost like we're friends who can do things with our kids and enjoy being around each other. About 2 months ago, our youngest unexpectedly ended up having surgery and spending several nights in the hospital. He's fine now. My ex-husband and I stayed together with our son the entire time he was in the hospital. When he was discharged, my ex-husband came back to my house, our former family home, at our son's request. He was just supposed to spend a few hours there, help our son get settled, and then go home. However, I guess all of the emotions and being together as a family in our former shared home got the better of us, and we ended up having lovemaking twice that night. Now I'm 9 weeks pregnant. I wasn't on birth control. I went off it after our divorce was finalized, but I've been intentionally remaining single for a while and not involved with men in any way, so I was giving my body a break from birth control. Initially, we were undecided about what to do, but as of last weekend, we made the decision together to have the baby. It feels sort of crazy to me. Definitely not a situation I ever imagined I'd find myself in. I already picture this baby looking just like our other kids, which is why I struggled with the idea of not continuing the pregnancy, which I know isn't really a valid reason to have a baby. This is probably the last baby I'll ever have. I'm 39, so even if I were to meet a man whom I trusted enough to want to have a child with and a future with, I'll be well into my 40s by then. I plan to be very picky, but I'm not even at the point of wanting to find someone new yet. We're not getting back together. For now, we get along great when we're not married and living in the same house. We feel it would be irresponsible to all of our children to attempt to get back together right now because of this. Chances are higher that we'll be able to co-parent this baby successfully if we live separately. However, we are committed to working together to do what has to be done to take care of the baby when he or she gets here. Our kids are doing so great right now, and they seem very happy and secure with the current setup of our lives and homes, so we want to stick with this for now. I don't know if I really understand what I'm getting myself into. Our other kids were all born into a marriage and a two-parent home. I know that sharing custody of a baby will be a lot different than the kids going back and forth between homes. I might be feeling too positive about it, but I think it could work out fine. The new baby will just see this as normal, right? The next thing to worry about will be having to explain this to everyone when we tell them. My family and friends will get over it, but I am especially concerned with explaining it to our kids. I'm worried our oldest won't take the news well. She also knows what lovemaking is and how babies are made. And for everyone concerned about his girlfriend, she's not his girlfriend anymore. Update 2. Several people have asked for an update on my situation. My ex-husband and I, who were married for 10 years and divorced for almost 1.5 years, are expecting a baby. We have 3 kids together and slept together twice during a stressful family period, resulting in this pregnancy. Although we've admitted we're still in love, we haven't declared that we're back together, mainly for our kids' sake. I'm 28 weeks pregnant with a baby girl, and it's been a textbook pregnancy, though I'm more tired than I remember being in previous pregnancies. My ex and I continue to live separately, sharing custody of our kids 50-50. The kids know about the baby, and while our oldest was grossed out that we had lovemaking, they've all taken the news well and seem excited about a new sister. We've kept explanations brief and answered their questions as they arise. For those curious about my ex's girlfriend, they broke up before I told him about the pregnancy. Their relationship wasn't serious, and the breakup had nothing to do with me. My ex and I still get along well, and while we both secretly hope the other will suggest reconciliation, we're hesitant to risk the progress we've made as co-parents. I'm scared of repeating history with another failed marriage, so we're staying in our current situation. I'm preparing to be a single parent to a newborn. Thanks to everyone who checked in. I'll probably post another update after the baby is born. Update 3. This will be my last update. I'm writing this while holding my newborn daughter in a rocking chair. We didn't get back together, and we don't plan to. While I still have deep feelings for him, and I believe he feels the same, we're both scared to risk our current progress. Our divorce was tough, with lots of arguments and unhappiness, even though there was no unforgivable incident. Somehow this pregnancy made us realize we still love each other, but we're focused on co-parenting rather than reconciliation. We both hope that someday we might find our way back to each other, but for now, our priority is raising our 4 children together. Our daughter was born via scheduled C-section, and she's absolutely perfect. My ex-husband was with me during the birth, and we both got emotional when she was born. We named her Baby R, after my middle name. She's a tiny 7-pound healthy baby, and while breastfeeding has been challenging, she's adjusting well. My ex took time off work to help out, staying with us for the first week, and has been incredibly loving and supportive. Our other kids have already bonded with her. We've told everyone we're not getting back together, though people seem to be secretly hoping we will. Our kids are thrilled with Baby R's arrival, and she fits perfectly into our family. I never expected to have another child, especially not with my ex-husband, but I'm so thankful she's here.